Beloved, today we're going to explore something powerful, something mysterious, something that God Himself designed within the human body. The miracle that happens when food is withdrawn and the system is allowed to reset. This is not merely a lesson in biology. This is a revelation of divine intelligence placed inside your body before you were ever formed in your mother's womb. When you stop eating, your body does not panic, it does not collapse, it does not surrender. Instead, it activates ancient systems of survival, healing, cleansing, and renewal. For your body was created not just to survive abundance, but to endure scarcity. And in that endurance, something sacred begins to happen. In the first day without food, the body simply uses what is already present. Glucose stored in the bloodstream and liver becomes the fuel. Hunger speaks loudly, but healing has already begun quietly. Your digestive system rests for the first time in a long time. Energy that was once spent breaking down meals is now redirected toward repair. Cells begin cleaning waste. Inflammation begins to soften. Your body whispers, "I know what to do." By the second day, something deeper awakens. The sugar stores are gone, and now the body turns to fat. But this is not ordinary fat burning. This is transformation. Fat becomes fuel. Toxins stored in fat cells begin to release. The liver intensifies its work. The blood begins to purify. Hunger may roar, but clarity begins to rise. Many experience sharper thinking, lighter feelings, and a strange peace entering the system. On the third day, the body enters a sacred metabolic state. Ketones now replace glucose as the primary energy source. This is when cellular intelligence becomes visible. Old, damaged, and weak cells are targeted and recycled. The body performs something called self-cleansing, a divine recycling system designed to remove what no longer serves you. Inflammation drops, insulin levels fall, healing accelerates. The body is no longer surviving, it is renewing. From the very first hour that food leaves your system, an extraordinary intelligence begins to awaken inside. Your body. Long before modern science named metabolism, glucose regulation, or cellular repair, the Creator designed the human system with an internal survival program that activates the moment external supply pauses. This program is not accidental. It is deliberate, precise, and powerful. Your body does not collapse when nourishment stops. It recalibrates, it reorganizes, it prepares itself to sustain life through wisdom written into every cell. In the early hours without food, your bloodstream still carries glucose from your last meal. The liver releases stored glycogen to keep blood sugar steady. Your brain continues to function. Your heart continues to beat with rhythm and strength. Hunger signals may rise, but they are not emergencies. They are merely messages that a transition has begun. Inside you, thousands of chemical messengers communicate quietly, ensuring that balance is maintained and no vital system is harmed. As the first day progresses, your digestive system finally rests. For perhaps the first time in weeks or months, it is not processing, breaking down, absorbing, and transporting nutrients. That rest becomes healing. Energy that was once spent digesting now moves to repair. Damaged tissues begin to mend. Inflammation starts to soften. The lining of the gut begins to restore itself. The body whispers, "I am safe. I am prepared." When glycogen stores decline, the body smoothly shifts gears. This is not panic. This is design. Fat cells open their reserves and release fatty acids into the bloodstream. The liver converts them into usable energy. Your muscles adapt. Your brain adapts. Your heart adapts. Every organ knows how to survive because survival instructions were placed within you before your first breath. What is remarkable is how orderly this process is. Nothing is random. Nothing is reckless. Hormones regulate hunger, blood sugar, and stress. Cortisol remains controlled. Insulin drops, allowing fat to be accessed easily. The nervous system remains alert but calm. Even as external supply stops, internal supply increases. You are not starving, you are transitioning, and then something deeper begins. As the body shifts from glucose to fat, it starts cleaning itself. Old proteins are broken down. Weak cells are identified and recycled. Damaged components are dismantled and removed. This is not destruction, this is purification. This is restoration. Your body becomes both the builder and the cleaner, restoring order within itself. Your immune system becomes more efficient. Inflammatory signals decrease. White blood cells become more active in seeking out threats and waste. Circulation improves. Oxygen delivery becomes more effective. Even your heart becomes stronger as it adapts to a cleaner internal environment. The system that keeps you alive is not fragile. It is adaptive, it is strategic, it is wise. Throughout this time, your brain remains protected. Special mechanisms ensure that mental clarity is preserved. In fact, many experience sharper focus and heightened awareness. This is because ketones, the alternative fuel your body produces, are an efficient and clean energy source for the brain. Thought becomes clearer, memory becomes sharper, alertness increases, survival sharpens perception. What you are witnessing is the ancient intelligence of the human body revealing itself. This intelligence does not depend on constant feeding. It depends on balance. It depends on rhythm. It depends on knowing when to store, when to release, when to repair, and when to renew. This survival system was never designed only for famine. It was designed for longevity. It protects organs. It preserves life. It delays degeneration. It strengthens resilience. It ensures that even when resources are withdrawn, life continues with order and purpose. And here is the revelation. Your body does not fear lack. It understands transition. It was built not only for abundance, but for endurance. It does not beg for survival. It activates for survival. Every heartbeat during fasting is a testimony of divine engineering. Every breath is proof of internal governance. Every cell follows instructions older than time itself. You are not kept alive by food alone. You are sustained by systems designed to protect you when food is absent. This is not chance. This is intelligence. This is design. And within that design lives the quiet, powerful miracle that keeps you alive, restores you, and prepares you for renewal. When the body no longer has to focus on digestion, a remarkable redirection of energy begins to take place. Digestion is one of the most demanding tasks the human system performs every day. It requires blood flow, enzymes, acids, muscular movement, hormonal signals, and constant coordination between organs. When food is present, an enormous portion of your daily energy is devoted to breaking it down, absorbing nutrients, and transporting them where they are needed. But the moment eating stops, that entire system quiets. And in that quiet, healing finds space to work. As the stomach empties and the intestines slow their motion, blood that once rushed to the digestive tract begins to circulate more freely to other organs. The heart pumps with greater efficiency. The brain receives a steadier supply of oxygen. The liver turns its full attention to detoxification. The kidneys filter waste more effectively. The lymphatic system becomes more active, sweeping cellular debris out of tissues that have been burdened for too long. Inside your cells, repair crews are activated. Proteins that were damaged by stress, toxins, or inflammation are identified and broken down. Mitochondria, the energy centers of the cell, begin renewing themselves. Old, inefficient components are replaced with stronger ones. Membranes become more stable. Communication between cells improves. This is not a superficial cleansing. This is deep restoration happening at levels you cannot feel but that determine your long-term health. Inflammation, which lies at the root of so many chronic conditions, begins to calm. When digestion pauses, inflammatory signals decrease. Swelling reduces. Pain softens. Joints loosen. Muscles relax. The body shifts from defense mode into maintenance mode. Instead of reacting to constant stimulation, it begins to rebuild its foundations. The nervous system also benefits from this redirection. The parasympathetic system, responsible for rest and repair, becomes more dominant. Heart rate steadies. Blood pressure often improves. Breathing deepens naturally. Stress hormones decline. A sense of calm begins to replace agitation. This is why many people report clarity, peace, and emotional balance during periods of fasting. The body is no longer fighting 1,000 small battles. It is finally allowed to restore itself. Even the skin responds. With digestion resting, circulation improves to the surface. Toxins exit through sweat and breath. Complexion brightens. Elasticity increases. Healing Small wounds accelerates. The outward appearance reflects the inward renewal. What is happening is not accidental. It is the fulfillment of a design that prioritizes survival through maintenance. The body knows when to build and when to clean. It knows when to process and when to repair. When food steps aside, healing steps forward. This redirection of energy is one of the greatest gifts hidden within fasting. It teaches the body to invest in longevity rather than constant consumption. It restores balance. It strengthens resilience. And it reminds you that sometimes the most powerful medicine is not what you add to the body, but what you allow the body to do when you finally give it rest. As stored sugar becomes scarce and the body shifts away from its usual fuel, a profound transformation begins within the depths of your metabolism. Fat, once considered merely a reserve of energy, now becomes the primary source of life. But this is not simple weight loss. This is a highly organized process in which the body unlocks hidden reserves, releases stored compounds, and begins a sweeping internal cleansing that reaches places no external remedy can touch. Fat cells do more than store calories. They also store toxins, heavy metals, chemical residues, and waste products that the body could not immediately eliminate. These substances were safely locked away to protect vital organs from harm. When fasting begins and fat is called upon for fuel, these cells open their vaults. Fatty acids enter the bloodstream to nourish muscles, brain, and heart. Along with them, trapped toxins are released so they can finally be processed and removed. The liver becomes the central guardian in this phase. It intensifies its detoxification work, converting harmful compounds into forms that can be excreted through bile, urine, sweat, and breath. Enzymes rise in activity, antioxidant systems strengthen, free radicals are neutralized, the blood becomes cleaner, circulation becomes lighter, organs function with less resistance. This internal purification improves efficiency across the entire system. As fat becomes fuel, the body also produces ketones, a clean and powerful energy source. These molecules not only sustain the brain but also reduce inflammation and protect neurons from damage. Many experience mental sharpness, emotional stability, and a surprising sense of well-being. This is not coincidence. Ketones stabilize brain chemistry and calm overactive neural circuits. Thought becomes clearer. Anxiety often softens. Focus deepens. At the same time, fat loss alters hormonal balance. Leptin sensitivity improves, allowing the brain to better regulate appetite. Insulin levels drop, reducing fat storage signals and allowing more freedom in energy use. Growth hormone increases, protecting muscle and preserving strength. The body becomes more efficient, learning to access its reserves without panic or damage. The release of toxins is not always silent. Some experience headaches, fatigue, or temporary discomfort as waste leaves the system. This is not harm. It is evidence of cleansing. The body is finally emptying burdens it has carried quietly for years. Hydration, rest, and gentle movement assist this process, guiding waste safely out of the system. What is unfolding is a remarkable alliance between survival and healing. Fat becomes more than energy. It becomes a pathway to purification. It becomes a messenger of renewal. It becomes evidence that the body knows how to protect itself even in the absence of constant supply. This phase teaches a powerful truth. Your body is not dependent on immediate intake to thrive. It holds within itself the resources not only to sustain life, but to cleanse, restore, and strengthen itself from within. When fat becomes fuel, toxins lose their hiding place, healing accelerates, and the body begins to reclaim its natural balance and vitality.